We must act now. Time has ran out. Not time is running out. Time has ran out. New York City just passed. For indoor, you need some sort of passport. You need some sort of proof for indoor dining, gyms, entertainment, and more. That more is always to be determined, and that is never ending with government. COVID vaccine, I say that lately, required for all Denver city employees at the end of September. So all city and county of Denver employees, we have all first responder or Denver first responders, hospitals and clinic settings, long-term care, healthcare providers. We have shelters, correctional facilities, child care providers, personnel in school, that kind of stuff. All that from Denver. You need a vaccine. You're going to have it and show proof. I say vaccine lightly, once again. This will be the end of freedoms. Any freedoms we have left. Remember, there's always temporary things, and I have not said temporary for this yet, but I just want to show you how true and great government is. This is the same government who poisoned people during Prohibition. They poisoned people to try to deter them from drinking alcohol, poisoned them and killed some. Same people that did the Tuskegee experiment and killed all those black people and would not help them. And the same government that says one thing and does another, same government, temporary income tax, our income tax that we still pay to this day, is temporary. It's still temporary in the books. Still temporary. And they say you don't have to pay it. It's still in the books. Look into it. There's the August 15th, 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. Completely. Temporarily took us off the gold standard. He said temporarily. Well, that's this month, August 2021. And this month, a couple weeks, it's going to be the 50th anniversary of temporarily being taken off the gold standard. Temporarily. And TSA, just temporary. After 9/11, implement the TSA as a temporary measure. So it's just going to be the temporary until we get everything figured out, everything settled. We'll go back to flying how we used to. Go back to transport how we used to. Temporarily, this was. Well, it still is temporary on the books. Every 4 to 5 years, it gets renewed. No matter who's president, no matter who's in office, it gets renewed every 4 to 5 years. It's not talked about, but it gets renewed. It's just temporary. Remember that. So what's going to happen here, I believe, is their push. This is the beginning, the very, very, very start. We're in it now. It's not like it's coming. It's here. But as soon as things start, like rolling down a hill, the ball or marble or whatever you roll down the hill, goes slow at first, but once it gets momentum, it just cruises down there like a wildfire. That's what's going to happen here if there's no resistance, if people don't put a stop to this. And that's why it's essential right now. You've got to stand up and quit going along with this. I was going to say everything. Quit going along with anything. Quit going along with everything, period. Now. It needs to come to an end. That's the masks. That's the distancing. That's everything. Stop it now, period. The testing, stop. Now. You have no choice if you want any of these freedoms that we have left. And there's not many. There's going to be no more gatherings. I mean, we're talking birthday party gatherings, we're talking sports stadium gatherings, we're talking going to the theater gatherings, movie theater. There's going to be no more of that. It's just, unless you do what they say you have to do, whether they prove the reason or not, you don't have a choice anymore. There's going to be no more of that. Period. No more concerts. I mean, any of that stuff. No more zoo, no more state fairs, no more carnivals. There's nothing. No more parades. There's going to be none of that unless you do what they tell you to do. We're at the point now where there's no more waiting around. We need to resist this right now. The kids in sports are not going to be the same if they even exist, really. We're talking volleyball, we're talking baseball, softball, anything like that. Choir stuff for kids. Any of that stuff. It's going to be different if we don't put a stop to this right now. So remember the seatbelt law? Yeah, there was once a time where you didn't have to put a seatbelt on to drive. Even though that's your choice, it should be your choice to say, I don't want to wear a seatbelt, and if I fly out of my car and die, that's my choice. No, you don't have that choice. You have to wear it, or you get punished by paying a fine. And, next time you do it, you pay another fine. And you keep track of it all. Thankfully, I don't drive bikes, but thankfully, the helmet is still a choice to drive motorcycles. It always should be. People can do what they want. That's how it should be for everything. This used to be a free country. And that's how the seatbelt law should be. Remember the smoking ban? There was a time you could smoke in restaurants, you could smoke in bars, you could smoke in smoke shops. You could smoke everywhere you wished, as long as the private employer allowed it. The private employer, if you're at your work, the private business owner, the private restaurant owner, the private bar owner, as long as they allowed it, you could smoke. I don't smoke, but why do I have any gall to say what you can or cannot do? That's what government does. And that should be outlawed. Not outlawed in a government sense, outlawed in a resistance sense where we're not going to stand for it, period. And then there's the age to purchase cigarettes, purchase tobacco. That just went up recently, a few years ago, I should say. We are August of 2021. There was a time there when you were 18, you were an adult, you could buy cigarettes to smoke them. You could buy tobacco, chew, that kind of stuff, because you were an adult. Now you're an adult, you can't buy alcohol, you can't buy cigarettes, you can't buy chewing tobacco. So what can you do? You can't go to some casinos that have alcohol on the floor, but you're an adult. They absolutely make sure they get the taxes from you. They steal from you. They're absolutely going to justify that because you're an adult. But you can't do everything as an adult. So think about that. That's government there. So like I said, don't go along with any of this at all. I think what's best, this is just my opinion, is to make your community strong. Like, I'm not saying over years, I'm saying today, tomorrow, this week, just keep it going. Get in contact with people you know. If you get like-minded folks around you, if some of them garden or know about gardening, or some of them know a farmer or is a farmer that raises cattle, or some of them have access to, these things that you may need down the line. Anyone a mechanic, anyone a nurse, or has anything to do with healthcare kind of deal, a doctor, anyone that has that knowledge, I think people should reach out and build their community, because you're going to need it. There's going to be a time, in my opinion, that you're going to have a choice. You're going to need that, and if you don't have it, I feel a lot of people may suffer because of that. So I just got to say, it's always best to make sure those around you are well and they're willing to help, and always best if you're willing to help those around you to get through this. Whatever this is, 9 times out of 10, I'd say 99 times out of 100, or 999 times out of 1,000, it's always government issue, government fault that we're in whatever predicament we're in. This is no different. There may come a time here, and I feel it's pretty possible that internet's going to be shut down, whether that's a week, a month, 6 months, whatever. But if that time comes, what are you going to do to find the knowledge that you don't know? Well, your community may be able to fill those voids for you. May be able to reach out to help you get what you need. If you have an issue in your home, you have an issue with your vehicle, if you need any type of food, whether it is vegetables, garden type food, or livestock type stuff, pig, cow, chicken, that kind of stuff. Just, I cannot say this enough. Get around your community and find strong community points of people that are willing to help and work together. And I think you'll be surprised at what you find. There's out there. There's plenty of people out there willing to help and loving the community vibe. I just wanted to get out there and say this because I think this is just the first domino. And if you know anything about dominoes or avalanches, the snow builds up on the mountain. It builds up until that last snowflake hits it, and then it just goes. And I feel, just my opinion, I feel this might be the first snowflake, or not the first snowflake, the one snowflake that hit on that mountain. That one snowflake, whether the COVID passed for New York City, COVID passed for Denver, this might be that snowflake that hit, and this avalanche is going to come rushing down. And there's nothing that can stop an avalanche. But there's preparation that can be had to try to prepare for an avalanche, to get through an avalanche. And that's where we're at. You have to prepare yourself for this. That's resistance, and more resistance, and prepare your family. And just get ready. Resist. Thank you for watching. As always, hit the like, share, subscribe. Stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect your wealth.